Sarah never expected that her grandma's secret drawer, that simple wooden compartment that had remained tightly shut for over 4 decades, would hold a key to secrets far deeper than just old memories. Her grandma Lillian was a kind, quiet woman who lived a seemingly ordinary life, but her eyes always held a mysterious twinkle, as if hiding untold stories. Lillian passed away in her 90th spring, leaving behind a home filled with her memories, and one enigmatic drawer that had piqued Sarah's curiosity since childhood. Since Sarah was a little girl, that drawer in her grandma's study always drew her in. It had no visible handle, just a thin slit barely discernible between the aged wood, making it seem an integral part of the bookshelf itself. Every time she asked her grandma about it, Lillian would smile sadly and say softly, "That drawer holds secrets, my dear, some of which, asterisk, must never see the light of day." Over the years, the drawer became part of an unresolved family mystery, a puzzle waiting for the right moment to be unveiled. A subtle chill would always run down Sarah's spine whenever the subject arose, a premonition of the hidden weight it carried. After her grandmother's passing, Sarah decided to take on the task of organizing her belongings. The house carried the scent of time, a mix of old books, dried flowers, and black tea. A peculiar mustiness seemed to cling to the study, especially around the old bookshelf. As she examined her grandma's bookshelf, she remembered the secret drawer. This time, it wasn't just childish curiosity, but a deep sense of responsibility towards her grandma and a chilling urge to understand her life more deeply. She began searching for anything that might help her open the drawer. There was no visible key, no obvious opening mechanism. Sarah spent days trying to decipher the puzzle, running her fingers over the wood, feeling an odd coldness emanating from the drawer's hidden seam. Sometimes, she swore she could hear a faint, almost imperceptible whisper, a sound like rustling old paper, whenever she lingered near it. One evening, as the dim lighting of the house cast long, dancing shadows that seemed to stretch and contort into unfamiliar shapes, Sarah noticed a tiny engraving on the side of the bookshelf, barely visible. It was a drawing of a small flower, the same flower her grandma loved and grew in her backyard, a blue asterisk, forget-me-not asterisk. A shiver, unrelated to the evening chill, traced its way up her spine. She remembered that her grandma always wore a necklace with the same flower. Her heart pounded. Could this be the key? She returned to the bedroom, the shadows seeming to deepen around her, and opened her grandma's old jewelry box. And there, at the bottom of the box, under a collection of rings and necklaces, nestled amongst faded velvet, lay a small, tarnished brass key, eerily cold to the touch, engraved with the same ominous forget-me-not. Sarah returned to the bookshelf, feeling her heartbeat hammer in her chest. The air around the drawer felt heavier, charged with an unseen presence. She inserted the key into the narrow slit, and as it slid in, she felt a sudden, sharp jolt, as if something unseen was resisting her. A low, almost imperceptible asterisk groan, asterisk, seemed to emanate from within the wood itself, before the key finally turned with a faint, chilling click. The drawer creaked open, revealing not an empty space or glittering treasures, but a small collection of items that seemed to absorb the light around them. An old, worn leather diary, a faded photograph that seemed to subtly shift in the dimness, and a letter folded with an unsettling precision. Sarah picked up the diary first. The leather felt strangely warm, almost feverish, beneath her fingertips. It was her grandma's handwriting, her elegant script now imbued with an unsettling urgency. As she began to read, a sense of dread slowly uncoiled within her. It wasn't just ordinary memoirs, but narrated a story of a asterisk, forbidden, dangerous love. A story that began in the 1940s, during the darkest days of World War II. Lillian, a young woman, had fallen deeply in love with a German pilot named Friedrich. But this wasn't just an impossible love. It was a asterisk, perilous secret that threatened not only their lives but the lives of those around them. Each page was filled with a desperate longing and a chilling undercurrent of fear. Fear of discovery, fear of betrayal, fear of the unspeakable consequences of their clandestine meetings. She described encounters veiled in shadow, whispered promises exchanged under the cloak of night, and the constant gnawing terror that something was always watching. Then she looked at the photograph. It was a picture of her young grandma smiling, but her eyes, even in the faded image, held a flicker of something haunted. Beside her stood a young man in a pilot's uniform, his gaze unnervingly intense, his smile a thin line that barely reached his eyes. It was him, Friedrich. A cold dread seeped into Sarah's bones. This wasn't the romantic tale she had imagined. There was a darkness swirling beneath the surface, a sense of foreboding. She had known nothing of this dangerous secret, this hidden life her grandma had led. Finally, she opened the folded letter. The paper was brittle, and as she unfolded it, a faint, almost metallic scent, like old blood, wafted from it. It was a letter from Friedrich, dated just before his mysterious disappearance on a final, ill-fated mission. The words were scrawled in a frantic, almost desperate hand, filled with a love that bordered on obsession and a chilling premonition of his fate. He wrote, "Lillian, even if the shadows consume me, our souls will remain bound. You are my eternal secret, my undying love. But be warned, for some secrets refuse to stay buried. Remember the forget-me-not, it is my promise to you, and a symbol of what waits." A gasp escaped Sarah's lips. This wasn't just a love story, it was a desperate plea, a warning from beyond the grave. It was a secret that had not only defined her grandma's life, but seemed to have left an enduring, chilling mark on the very fabric of the house. Those secrets in the secret drawer were not just personal history, but a glimpse into a world shrouded in fear, sacrifice, and unresolved echoes of the past. Sarah realized that her grandma was not just a quiet woman, but a strong soul who carried the chilling burden of a love story that time could not erase, a love that perhaps had a cost yet to be fully paid. The mysterious twinkle in her grandma's eyes now seemed less like a memory and more like a haunting reflection of untold horrors. After opening the drawer, Sarah felt an unsettling connection with her grandma she had never felt before, as if the veil between past and present had thinned. She was now a keeper of this dark secret, a witness to a story that seemed to ripple with an unseen energy. This story was more than just an inheritance. It was a chilling testament to love, loss, and the enduring, sometimes terrifying power of secrets. Sarah learned that some secrets aren't meant to be understood, but merely acknowledged, for their whispers can linger long after the voices have faded. If you braved the shadows of this story and want to uncover more chilling tales and hidden histories, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more thrilling narratives. What secrets do you think still linger in old houses, waiting to be discovered?